For most of his life, DeRay McKesson has given his time and effort to education, a man prepared to dedicate himself to making an impact on the next generation from the classroom. But back in 2014, he started following another calling.
And there's a national conversation about race, policing, and justice in a way that there hasn't been before.
A path that, when he thinks about his upbringing in Baltimore, really wasn't too much of a long shot.
You know, I think about the first organizer I ever met was my grandmother. My grandmother and Miss Gertrude down the street kept the neighborhood safe. They kept it together. They watched out for all the kids.
But nothing prepared DeRay for his introduction into this work.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
When 18-year-old Mike Brown was shot and killed by police, Ferguson, Missouri erupted in protest. And DeRay wears this blue vest as a memento, a reminder of what it felt like being on the front lines.
You're under arrest.
What? They're arresting DeRay.
I'll never forget, I got tear gas the second night I was in St. Louis, and it changed everything for me. I was like, this is crazy. We didn't do anything wrong.
Ironically, DeRay says this experience actually opened his eyes to how often unarmed black people die after intense encounters with law enforcement. He did some research.
The police killed 3 people a day across the country, and we lead a team that tracks those every single day. You know, I remember when we were in the street in the early days, and we would tell people the police were killing people, and they would be like, don't bring that problem to us. Like, you know, that's not our problem. That's something that happened in Ferguson. When Freddie Gray got killed, they were like, that's Baltimore.
But he walked away from all of that inspired.
Just the courage that everybody had, the fortitude, the imagination. You know, we did the first ever successful sit-in of a police department headquarters.
He wanted to take that fight further, and that motivation became the foundation for the movement that is now Campaign Zero, an organization built to help transform a system he feels constantly puts people from underrepresented communities in harm's way.
There are a host of issues that we're working on that people care about that'll change people's lives if we fix them.
DeRay believes part of that mission means uprooting even some of the most basic laws.
When people ask me about the police, I'm like, do you need a person with a gun to tell you that your taillight's out? No. I'm trying to change people's hearts and minds about how they think about consequences and how they think about being safe.
In nearly a decade, they've already seen progress toward their landmark goals.
We passed more laws as an activist group than any activist group in American history around policing and mass incarceration. We're really proud of that. We have a lot more to go.
Enough momentum to feel like real change isn't so far away.
I think that we can actually end police violence in this lifetime. I believe that. I also think that we can end mass incarceration in this lifetime.
But he knows to keep the dream of a world beyond policing alive, they need to motivate the younger generation of change makers who aren't afraid to play the long game, arming themselves with real knowledge about the issues and ideas.
I meet a lot of young people who care. Caring is not enough. Caring is important, but you gotta know the content. Like, that is really big. Part of our work is to create space so we can invite more and more people in, because we can't win alone. We need people in the state house, city council, we need people in their neighborhoods.
But like any marathon, the hardest part of having these conversations is getting started.
There's no idea that's ever changed this country that didn't start in a kitchen, a living room, a dining room table, a basement. Like, it is those conversations that actually move the needle.
DeRay and his team are running the first leg of this race. Eventually, though, he'd like to be able to pass the baton.
We want people to work with us. We want to work with people, but we also know that you should be able to take the best of what we've done and do something even better with it.
Randall Newsom, WMAR 2 News.
We hope you enjoyed that story from Bridging the Gap. To watch more great stories like this all in one place, click on the box right here.